Hey artsy friends! I just spent the last 2 weeks working on this art challenge and I could not make it work. Bummer alert. I'm going to show you what happened when I sat down again and again in the studio in an attempt to work on this global art challenge and basically failed. Plus, there was one thing that happened during my attempts that absolutely took me out. Wait. No, what the heck? Hi, hello, welcome. If you're new here, I'm Jess, I'm a collage artist, and you should totally subscribe because if you don't, I will come to your house and decoupage your fridge. I have a glue stick and I'm not afraid to use it. Is that funny? It feels threatening. So for context, Februage is a month-long art challenge that anyone can participate in. Basically, prompts are set up for all the days of February. We make collage art based on those prompts, and it's easy, right? Wrong. At least for me. I don't know, man. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I really just could not focus up and do this, but I just could not get my head in the game.
Why am I feeling so wrong?
But hey, let's get into the studio and let's talk about it. My first couple of studio sessions were relaxed. I just played with my cutouts and didn't commit to any particular idea. Then I decided to try making at least one of the prompts using one of these masterpieces, either as the background or cutting pieces from it. About a year ago, I thrifted a collection of books that featured prints of some of the most famous works of art in human history. Maybe this was my moment of downfall, because once this idea was introduced, I just could not get out of my own way. Despite the fact that after going through these masterpieces a few times, I couldn't imagine how any of the prompts could work with these images, I also couldn't let go of the belief that if I just kept trying, eventually I would get it. Have you ever heard the phrase kill your darlings? It's an editing concept that originates from English writer Sir Arthur Quiller Couch in a lecture series called On the Art of Writing. He said, "Whenever you feel the impulse to perpetuate a piece of exceptionally fine writing, obey it wholeheartedly and delete it before sending your manuscript to press. Murder your darlings." And later, Stephen King referenced this idea in his own book on writing. Kill your darlings. Kill your darlings, even when it breaks your egocentric little scribbler's heart. Kill your darlings. That is exactly what I needed to do, but I didn't. I ended up making this collage with this pop art looking ketchup bottle inserted into this very painterly still life painting. And as I was working on it, I kept thinking about how could this idea fit in with any of the prompts, even in an abstract way. And I don't know, man, like just nothing came to me. I really think that this is the beginning of a kind of cool piece. It could be something, but because I really couldn't make any connections between this and any of the prompts, I realized I just need to set it aside for now and maybe come back to it later. I'm not sure, but it's not going to work for Februage. For my next attempt, I played for a long while with this painting of lines and using the boxes as if they were windows. I thought maybe I could put some really powerful women breaking out of the frames. And the whole time, once again, I was running through the prompts, trying desperately to justify this idea with any one of them. Eventually, I had to admit to myself that I couldn't think of any connections, not even tenuous ones. And at this point, I was really feeling disheartened. I took some time to dig out some grass during unseasonably warm weather, collected myself, and got back into the studio. Then I saw the prompt soup. We'll come back to that. Serendipitously, I had a cutout of a spoon, and I thought maybe I could do something with that. So like, have you ever heard the phrase being spoon-fed an idea? Being spoon-fed means to provide someone with so much information that they don't need to think for themselves. Spoon feeding. So I put Napoleon on the spoon, and I feel like this expresses the idea of powerful leaders spoon feeding ideologies that reinforce their own power. And I thought this is a really thoughtful and maybe on the nose, but sort of smart way to think about the prompt soup for February. Except there was a problem. Maybe you noticed it. Wait. No, what the heck? I thought it said soup, and it says soap. Oh no. So I gave up. I walked away. But then I came back. That's right, folks. So we are not quitters in this house. I got back into the studio. I got back to work. And guess what happened? Nothing. I made an uninspiring scrap collage while listening to a book about the equation E equals mc squared. And it had a chapter on magnetism. And I thought, oh, like, I'll make a collage about magnetism while I listen about how magnetism was like discovered. And it's just, I don't know, it's kind of a nothing burger. I don't know. Like, it's fine. And at this point, I just completely ran out of ducks to give about this challenge. I know that that's not the hero's story. The best way to end this would be that I got back into the studio and I did it and I made something glorious. But that's not the real story today, unfortunately. Which kind of begs the question, why am I even sharing this? I think it's really normal to feel uninspired, tired, lost, confused, and not every challenge is gonna go your way. We are not machines. I've talked about this before on my channel, so for some of you long timers, it's not exactly a new concept. Maybe this could help anyone out there who's just feeling uninspired, or maybe you're struggling to make art right now. That's really okay. It happens. You're not alone. And I gotta be honest, like, I saw several creators who are big here on YouTube, really inspiring work. They're doing great stuff. It's beautiful. And I wish I could say that I had the same journey this season. I tried to make this year easier on myself by not sort of having this internal pressure to make a collage every day. I thought if I like limited my scope, I would do better. And I think I did okay the first couple of weeks. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It was fun to do, but something about these last 2 weeks, man, I really got to take my own advice here and not like internalize this failure as something indicative of who I am as a person. I think that the still life could maybe get good. If you want to see me try to revisit that one, then you should totally like this video to let me know if that's of interest to you. Or like the video if you just liked the video, or don't. I'm not your mom. If you did like this video and you want to hang out with me a little longer in the studio, then check this video out. And I think that's it. Okay, bye. See ya. Bye.